Venn diagrams, drawing interpretation. In the IBPS examination, one of the important question types that they target is solving questions in Venn diagrams, drawing and interpretation. Let us now have a detailed perspective on how to solve different questions based on Venn diagrams. In this category, they will give you three terms, and the relationship between three terms should be established by using Venn diagrams. That is how you have to solve questions based on this. In order to solve questions, you have to understand two important steps. One, understanding the proper relationship between characters. I'll give you two characters. The first character is a lion, second character is a carnivore. How can you relate these two characters, these two terms based on Venn diagrams? I can represent lion by one circle. Can I say all lions are carnivores? Yes, it is actually possible. So carnivores can also be represented by this circle. Now this Venn diagram states that all lions are carnivores and some carnivores are not lions also. So to solve questions of this kind, the proper relationship between these two terms should strike our mind. The relationship between these two terms is all lions are carnivores, hence aiding us in solving the question. Next, drawing the appropriate Venn diagram to represent the relationship. Let's take two entities, male and female. These two are two separate entities, correct? So a male can be represented in this way and female can be represented in this way. So the relationship between these two terms can be represented by totally different Venn diagrams. Now with this system in hand, let us try solving one question to understand it better. Try drawing a Venn diagram for representing the relationship between doctors, fathers and men. Let's try finding the relationship between fathers and men. We know all fathers are men. Definitely yes. So I'll put a father circle here. I'll put a men circle around fathers. So this is fathers and this is men. Relationship between doctors and fathers. We can say some fathers are doctors. We can also say some men are doctors. So let's draw a circle here. This is doctors. So according to this Venn diagram, all fathers are men, which is correct. Some men are not fathers, which is correct. Some doctors are fathers and obviously men. Some men are doctors and some doctors are neither fathers, neither men also. So hence they are female. Hence women. So in the examination, they would give you this question. Represent relationship between doctors, fathers and men, and they would give you four Venn diagrams representing this relationship. You have to choose the Venn diagram that properly describes its relationship. This is how you go about solving questions on Venn diagrams, drawing Venn diagrams. Let us now move on to interpret Venn diagrams. Interpreting Venn diagrams is actually very easy if you know how to interpret diagrams. Now they would give you two diagrams such as these. The diagrams may be in this way with circles, or it might be involving many other shapes also. But this is going to be the basics. Let's have something called X quantity, Y quantity and Z quantity. A belongs to X quantity, B belongs to both X quantity and Y quantity alone, F belongs to C quantity and G quantity, D belongs to A quantity and G quantity. E belongs to all three quantities. So this is the interpretation. Now what if they ask you what alphabet signifies only X quantity? What do we go for? We go for only A. So A only signifies only X. What alphabet signifies only X and Z quantity? Now the question is only X and Z. So only X and Z is represented by this part of the diagram, X and Z. Hence D is the alphabet. Which alphabet signifies all three quantities, which is E? Which alphabet signifies only Z quantity, which is G? So based on the question that is given, we have to go to the diagram and apply the question and try to find out what can be the answer to the question. Similarly, this question is of two quantity question, X and Y. Only X is represented by A, only Y is represented by C, and both X and Y is represented by B. So this is how interpretation questions work. Let us solve one question to understand how exactly to interpret questions. The Venn diagram on the left shows the preference of people in buying a mobile phone. Study the diagram and answer the questions that follow. Now this is how a question is given in the examination. We have 4 different brands of mobile phones and we have data represented inside them with the help of Venn diagrams. Let us see the first question now. How many people prefer the brand OnePlus? If you look at the question carefully, there is no word called only here. So we have to find out all people who prefer the brand 1X. Let's go back to the diagram. How many people prefer 1X? We have to calculate the entire circle. This entire diagram we have to find out. So 24 people prefer OnePlus, 16 prefers OnePlus. So 24 plus 16 will give you 40, 62, 77, 90, 100, 120, 136. So 136 people totally prefer OnePlus. The answer to this question is option D, 136. Let's go to the second question. How many people prefer only Apple? So we have to find out in the diagram who prefer only Apple. This is the Apple diagram here, and people who prefer only Apple belongs to this category. This 10 is not adulterated by Samsung, HTC or OnePlus. Hence, the answer to this question will be 10. Option C. Third question. How many people prefer only 3 of the brands? Only 3 of the brands. So we have to find out people who prefer only the 3. Let's go to the diagrams again. Let's try eliminating Samsung. Let's eliminate this diagram out of the picture. So only 3 brands will be somewhere around here, correct? We know 10 is only Apple, so 10 is eliminated. 21 belongs to Apple, HTC, but not OnePlus, but we need only 3. So again 21 is eliminated. 22 belongs to Apple, HTC and OnePlus. 22 is the answer. That is one part. Let's go on. Let's eliminate Apple right now. Apple, this part is eliminated, so we have Samsung, HTC and OnePlus. The answer should be one of the 4 that is given. 5 is only Samsung, so 5 cannot be the answer. 13 is Samsung and HTC alone, so cannot be the answer. 24 is Samsung, HTC and OnePlus, hence 24 is the answer. So we have 24 and 22 who prefer only 3 of the brands. Similarly, 15, if you try eliminating OnePlus and if you try eliminating HTC, it will be 10. So sum it all up. 24 plus 15 is 39, plus 22 is 61, plus 10 is 71. Hence, the answer to the question is option B, 71. Let's go to the fourth question. How many people prefer all the 4 brands? Let's go back to the diagram. We have to find one number that is a part of all 4 diagrams. Samsung is here, so it is supposed to be somewhere around here. Apple is here. Apple and Samsung only is here. Apple, Samsung and HTC over here. Apple, Samsung, HTC and OnePlus over here. So 16 people prefer all 4 brands. Hence the answer to this question is option A, 16. This is how we go about interpreting questions based on Venn diagrams. Finally, let us go to the third category, Venn diagram drawing and interpretation. This category is a little rare when we are attempting IBPS PO examination, but let us look at them also. Let's try understanding this category with an example. There are 100 people in a school who love one of the 3 hobbies, reading books, playing and listening to songs, out of which 40 people prefer to read books, 50 people love to play and 60 love to listen to songs. 20 love to read books and play, 30 love to play and listen to songs, and 10 love listening to songs and read books. Answer the following questions. We first have to draw a Venn diagram to represent this question. Let's draw a very basic Venn diagram using 3 circles. I'll name this circle as B for books, this circle as P for play, and this circle as S for songs. We know 40 people prefer to read books, 50 people love to play, and 60 love to listen to songs. 20 love to read books and play, 30 love to play and listen to songs, and 10 love listening to songs and reading books. If you have noticed carefully, I would have marked all the numbers outside the circle and not inside. Because if you have to mark inside the circle, you need to know one very crucial parameter. This parameter is this part. This part, let's name it as x. In order to find out x, we have a small formula to do it. We know total number of students is 100, correct? So I can say 100 is equal to 40 plus 50 plus 60. We know 40 plus 50 is 90 plus 60 is 150 is greater than 100. So we have to take something out, correct? So we'll take out some things. Minus 20, which is this, minus 10, minus 30. Now we've taken everything out. We need to find x, correct? So let's add x into it. Plus x. Now this will give you the answer of x. So x will be something around 10. So we know x is 10. Let's now start filling inside the circle. We have 10 here. So 20 minus 10 will be 10 again. So 10 will be this portion. We have 30 here. So 30 minus 10 will be 20, which is this portion. And 10 minus 10 will be 0. It will be this portion. Now we have marked the intersecting points. Let's now mark the individual points. We know 10 plus 10 is 20. The total is 40. So remaining will be 20 here. Similarly here it will be 20 plus 10 plus 10, which will be 40 minus 50 is 10. 20 plus 10 is 30. Remaining will be 30. So now we have gotten a Venn diagram. Let us try answering questions based on this Venn diagram. First question. How many love at least 2 of the 3 hobbies? The word called at least signifies one thing. It means that people who like 2 hobbies plus people who like 3 hobbies. Now this is the question that they ask. Let's go back to the diagram. The answer will be 20 2 hobbies, 10 2 hobbies and 0. So 20 plus 10 is 30 and at least 3 hobbies also means 3 hobbies also. So 20 plus 10 is 30 plus 10 is 40. Hence the answer to the question should be 40. Hence answer is option A, 40. How many love none of the 3 hobbies? If you have to find out this, we have to sum all the numbers inside the Venn diagram. 20 plus 10 is 30 plus 10 is 40 plus 10 is 50 plus 20 is 70 plus 30 is 100. So we have inside the Venn diagram 100 students distributed and total number of students again is 100. So 100 minus 100 will be 0. Hence none of them prefer none of the 3 hobbies. Hence the answer to this question is option